to the US now, where the House Ethics Committee is due to meet and perhaps vote on releasing a report examining allegations of sexual misconduct against the former Republican Representative Matt Gaetz. Gaetz is Donald Trump's pick to be Attorney General. He's been at the centre of allegations involving sex trafficking and drugs. Well, let's go live to our senior North America correspondent, Gary O'Donoghue, who's there on Capitol Hill. And Gary, the question everyone is asking is, will this ethics report be published?
Indeed it is, and we should know the answer to that probably in a couple of hours' time. The committee is due to meet at noon local, that's 2 hours from now. It's a peculiar committee in Congress. It's a bipartisan committee, equal numbers of Republicans and Democrats. It's seen as a place where things are not done in the kind of normal congressional pull and shoving way, if you like, that this is more of a sort of deliberative committee, but it's equal numbers of Republicans and Democrats, and they have to vote on whether to release this. And of course, there's a lot of external pressure, particularly from the House Speaker and from Republicans, for them not to publish this report on Matt Gaetz because he's no longer a member of Congress. Therefore, Republicans, the committee does not have jurisdiction over him. But of course, he's a nominee. He's a nominee for a cabinet position, a nominee for perhaps Donald Trump's most important cabinet position. A lot of people say that is the reason all information about him should be out there.
Remind viewers what the allegations are, and have there been, since Matt Gaetz's name was put into the frame, have there been Republicans, because they are the key here, have there been Republicans breaking ranks and speaking more openly?
Yeah, the allegations centre around various sexual and financial improprieties that Matt Gaetz stands accused of. Some of those were investigated criminally by the Department of Justice and no charges were brought. He has always maintained that he is innocent of all the charges made against him, but they centre around, in particular, and some of this evidence from the Ethics Committee and from those investigations has come out, they centre around allegations that he paid for sex and during that process could have had sex with an underage girl in Florida. The age of consent in Florida is 18, and the allegation is that this girl was 17 at the time. He apparently, according to some witnesses who have spoken to the Ethics Committee, according to their lawyer, didn't know that this girl was underage and stopped the relationship until she was no longer underage. But there's that, and there's also these trafficking allegations that were investigated again by the Department of Justice. So there's a whole bunch of things swirling around that the Ethics Committee picked up, if you like, after the criminal investigations concluded without charges. And that was a report that was due to be published imminently, and that's why things are being thrown into some disarray by his decision to resign from Congress because of his nomination as Attorney General by Donald Trump.
And Gary, briefly and finally, of course, there is Senate oversight for any of these future appointments, but that whole issue of whether there'll be recess appointments, where are we on that?
Well, it's something Donald Trump has said he's keen to do. It's something that the Senate, generally speaking, isn't all that keen to do, though he has a majority there now, and he has full-scale, absolute 100% control of this Republican Party, bear in mind that. There are still some independent voices in the Senate. Some of them are Republicans. Some of them have expressed some concern about Matt Gaetz's, not just his potential or possible improprieties, but also whether he's qualified to do this job. He's never been a prosecutor in the government, for example, which is effectively what the Attorney General is, a lead prosecutor for the federal government. So questions about his competency and about his character, and some of those concerns do spread within some of those Republican ranks. And of course, to get this process through under the Constitution, the Senate has the power to advise and consent to these nominations. In other words, the President can't just pick these people for his cabinet. The Senate has to agree to it, and there has to be a majority. And the Republicans have a slimish majority in the upper house, in the upper chamber, and one they will hope is enough. Which is why today Matt Gaetz is here on Capitol Hill with the Vice President-elect JD Vance, trying to twist some arms of senators, trying to do some cajoling, persuading to get them on side through this process, which could be a pretty nasty one.
Well, it's going to be a busy and fascinating next couple of hours. Gary, we'll talk again through the course of our programme. Thanks so much for now. Thank you.